Because yesterday, you know who announced his choice. Announced his choice to fill in for Tulsi Gabbard as acting National Intelligence Director. He installed housing official Bill Pulte, who's been a key figure in you-know-who's retribution campaign against political rivals. And a lot of folks on Capitol Hill are going, what? Check it out.
Bill Pulte is deeply unserious, deeply dangerous, and deeply unqualified.
He has no experience in national security, none. We're not even sure he has a security clearance or has ever held classified information.
I don't know that much about Bill, but nothing that I hear suggests that he's competent for the job for which he's been appointed. And I say that because that's just kind of the conversation among my colleagues.
And Pulte's
I have no observations on the matter.
Well, you could at least say, you know, what are his qualifications? And is he just going to be going around saying, you know, you did this, and so now we're going to do this to you? What is all of what's happening?
I believe Tom Cotton's a member of the Gang of Eight, so I would hope he has some observations at some point on the matter.
Right.
But listen, this man would not get through Senate confirmation, so the president is bypassing Senate confirmation, installing him in an acting capacity, so he could do this job for up to 200 days without going through any Senate confirmation. This man has zero national security qualifications. Right. You could throw a stone in the U.S. Capitol and find a Trump-loyal Republican with some national security qualifications. It's just, so that's what stands out to me is like, so why do you want this guy?
Correct.
He seems to be a political hatchet man. In his time in like the housing agency,
he's called Little Trump, right?
He's a bit of a little Trump, yes.
He's called Little Trump? Little Trump, yeah. That's why he got the job.
Yeah. And he's okay with that nickname?
That's nickname.
That's what we need to pay attention to is what he is there to do, because he oversees all 18 intelligence agencies. He has extraordinary access to national security secrets. And setting aside for a minute if he has any kind of malignant intent, there's also just, he's never been trained in handling classified information. Out of sheer stupidity or not knowing better, you could put American lives at risk if you say one thing
I
you
even
shouldn't.
wonder, I was like, does he have a passport? I don't even know.
Right. Does he have a, like a,
And, you know, the word intelligence, you sort of, you know, there's an expression, intelligence has its limitations, but stupidity is infinite. And it feels like this is just to hold in place. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, they did sideline her quite a bit.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
And so maybe he doesn't have a lot of experience. He's there to sort of scare people, I think, especially Republicans, into behavior.
I think the president wants someone that doesn't have experience.
Right.
He wants someone that's incompetent so that he can run the show, even though he is also incompetent.
Incompetent, but loyal.
But yeah.
Loyal.
To himself?
Loyal to Donald Trump, because then Trump can say...
She's talking about
Donald Trump is incompetent, but he wants to be surrounded by incompetence so that he can just be in control. And Tulsi Gabbard is now the fourth woman in his cabinet that has either been fired or resigned. And I think the reason that Tulsi Gabbard is being replaced, and I understand that her husband is suffering from cancer, and that's a terrible thing, but she was sidelined before this. What I read was that the Wall Street Journal reported that she was sidelined because from not only Iran, but also Venezuela, because she told Congress earlier this year that Iran had made no efforts to rebuild its nuclear program following last year's strike in June, directly contradicting the president. And then she refused to say that Iran posed an imminent threat to the U.S. at the time of the attacks. Right. We all know that no one in this country, there's such a low approval rating for this war in Iran. Gas prices are up. Everything is up. There's an affordability crisis, and it really is because of this war in Iran that the U.S. started, which she was against, and she made those feelings known. And
but
that
it
is why
focuses on what you were saying, lack of expertise, and
Yeah.
that's sort of everywhere. Like, look, Pete
They talked
Hegseth,
about DEI so much.
Right.
It means, you know, didn't earn
This
it
is
now.
DEI, right?
Yeah.
Didn't earn it, exactly. You have Pete Hegseth, who was a talk show host. I mean, he was in...
No shade,
no
right?
shade.
No shade, sorry. I'm so sorry. I've ruined it for all of us. RFK, no medical training. Jared Kushner is doing negotiations in Iran, and that's why these negotiations are going so badly. And look, even over at CBS, Scott Pelley, all these reporters that are astonishingly being shoved out by people who have so much less expertise, if any at all, at what they do. And so one hopes that expertise comes back, but it's the same attack on science, the same attack on media.
Education.
Well, we remember the days of like grab her by in the locker room talk.
Yes.
Trump is building his locker room. That's what this is. It's a boys' club where he has certain cards of value, titles and jobs. Doesn't matter who you are, but if he has a loyalist or a friend that he wants to hand one of these cards to, doesn't matter if you match the card. He just gives them to all his friends. And I kept thinking about, like, what's the desire for incompetence beyond what you're saying, Sonny, about
Power.
that's
He can do whatever he wants.
That too, but I also think we're all a product
Stupid people don't
of
push
our
back.
we're all a product of our environments. He has grown up in a world of wealth and privilege and people just picking up the phone. Picking up the phone. You just need one phone call from a guy to say, can you hire this one? Can you do this? That's everything he's ever gotten. So I think in his mind, that's what you do. You pick up the phone and phone a friend.
These are also deadly serious times, though. Like, we are actively in open hostilities with the Iranian regime right now. We take for granted that 9/11 was 30 years ago. That could happen again. A major attack on the homeland could happen again. And this job would be to oversee all intelligence agencies,
18
the CIA,
intelligence
the
agencies.
FBI, and so on. And this guy has absolutely no qualifications to do that in this moment. Like, that should be scaring. And by the way, like someone like John Ratcliffe, who's running the CIA, he's a Trump loyalist. You guys probably wouldn't like him. He's competent at the job.
He's competent.
He's running it.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he's running it, and they're just letting this guy run around.
That's the thing. It's like there are
Maybe.
people you can find. A Tom Cotton could do this job. So just find somebody who has the qualifications so all our lives aren't at risk.
And how about finding someone that isn't being actively investigated by the Government Accountability Office?
Well, that'd be very hard. That
He's
would be
actually
very
being
hard to do,
investigated for. They launched an investigation into federal housing finance because, and he is the director of that agency right now, over concerns that he misused his position and official federal resources to investigate prominent political opponents.
Right, this was Letitia James.
Yes.
You know, all these people.
So he's actively under investigation, but he got a bigger job.
But isn't this him, I'm sorry, him investigating himself?
Well, little known fact. Little known fact that this guy is responsible for AI Jesus picture with Trump.
Yes.
So
remember when it was just to be a healer, but it was like one notable healer?
A prominent Republican described him as a guy who's constantly stepping on rakes. Like, this is also the guy. He proposed the 50-year mortgage idea, which was universally panned. Like, the absolute worst way, rack up more interest, build equity at a slower pace, like a terrible idea.
Awful.
That's this guy.
Well, maybe he'll just step on rakes the whole time.
a lot of rakes
He's trying to get up, you know, but he'll be able not to do that. He's not matter. He doesn't matter here. You do understand. Even though he could be dangerous, they're ignoring him. You know, John Ratcliffe is like, I'm ignoring this clown. Kind of thing. So that's what's going to happen.
I mean, again, what we have to focus on, really, is what we have to do. All this stuff going on, you can't fix this. No. Okay, this is not within your purview. What you can do is you can go out and vote for people who actually can fix stuff, and it doesn't matter what side you're on, because there are a lot of Republicans who don't like what they're seeing either. So please remember, this is in our hands. So all this stuff that comes, we talk about it every day, it's a lot of falderall. It's to say, don't look at here. What you have to take care of is your business and your family and everything you do on a daily basis. That's our responsibility.
I just wanted to finish my thought about Housing Finance Director Bill Pulte, in that he hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing, but he's being investigated by and he denies that he misused his position. Right. But he did have a record of going after many of Trump's biggest perceived political enemies, as you mentioned, including Letitia James, for mortgage fraud.
But it didn't work. It hasn't worked.
No, it has not worked.
Well, another incompetence.